Next up, I want to talk about the Charlotte Hornets. They're a team that we just never known them to be good. They had Kemba Walker for a couple of years. That gave them a bit of light. There's a couple of times that they've, made the 7th, 8th seed, or they just missed the playoffs completely. But otherwise, what do you say about them? And the Charlotte Bobcats, should I say? Not that great. They had a couple of good years of Al Jefferson, but they've just never been good. And they still aren't good to this day. Now, they're going for a much more younger team. There's, players that we definitely thought were going to be really good. LaMelo Ball, I drafted him a couple of years ago. He's definitely looks like a star. And they're eligible to go and I believe sign him to a rookie extension, I believe. Yeah, so he's got an eligible contract extension. And, I think the Charlotte Hornets would definitely want to try to lock him up, but they just had bad luck with injuries. We already knew that Gordon Hayward, ever since his Jazz days, and when he broke, I believe, his leg, when he played the Celtics, I believe it was the first game, actually, I was watching that. I think it was the Celtics and the Cavs in the first game of the season, and he broke his leg. You might need to fact check that one. But yeah, ever since then, he just hasn't been good. He's been an okay role player. But it's just been in and out. And yeah, Charlotte decided to go and sign him to a really big contract a couple of years ago, which I believe there's maybe 1 or 2 years left on that contract. But I don't know if you really want to pay him that much in his next payday. But yeah, LaMelo Ball is really good. When he plays, he's been really good. One of the best 3-point shooters in the league, especially from distance. However, the injury bug has plagued him. Every year we feel like we're getting an injury from his legs. And it's funny, we wonder why there's so many injuries, I remember watching Ball in the Family. And I mean, Lonzo is actually injured at the moment. And he's constantly having to get surgery. And I think there's someone that gets some tissue or something, or scrape tissue or something out of his leg quite often. We just never been able to see him on the court, which is such a shame because he has so much potential. And we're seeing the same with LaMelo Ball too. Leangelo, we saw him in that Ball and Family documentary. A couple of times he's gotten injured, I think when he was playing Lithuania. JBA. These boys, maybe, LeVar's trained too hard, got him to run too many hills and Chino hills, and that's why they have no legs left. But it's really a shame. I really hope the best for them. But in terms of the Charlotte Hornets, it was a good pick. However, I don't know if it's turned out for the best for them in terms of health. And, they've got a couple of good players. PJ Washington seems to be a really nice young stud. Miles Bridges, I don't know if he's going to come back to the team. He had some domestic violence little situation that happened. I'm not going to talk about that. That's not my place to talk about that. I only talk about basketball and what's going on the court. I don't want to associate myself with anything outside the court, especially when I'm not knowledgeable on those particular topics. But, he was really good. Charlotte Hornets were looking really good last season when Miles Bridges and LaMelo Ball were throwing lobs and stuff to each other. Entertaining basketball. But yeah, it's just really hard to know what the Charlotte Hornets should do. Terry Rozier got a fantastic deal when he came from the Celtics a couple of years back. He's consistent. He's a go-to to go and get big buckets in the clutch. But it's just not enough of a team to go and be considered as playoff contenders or make any threat in the playoffs. They've got draft picks coming in the future. They're going to be in the sweepstakes for Victor. Now, I'm sorry if I'm going to say the name wrong. Victor Yabanyama. Don't trust me with names. And Scott Henderson. There's potential that they pick him up. We just don't know. But I feel like the Charlotte Hornets as an organisation have got a long way to go to be successful in the future. Oh, and they also did that trade for Plumlee to the Clippers as well, which maybe he asked for a trade. I'm not sure, but a lot have changed. Sorry, Mason Plumlee. It's tough to know what to do. They got Kelly Oubre a couple of years ago from, I believe he played in the Warriors for a season. Good shooter, but there's just not enough on this team to be considered a title contender. They've got heaps of draft picks. Looking at their oncoming draft picks, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 draft picks coming up. A lot of them in the second round, but Charlotte's got a long way to go. No free agents want to go there.